Hey everyone, Lucimus Prime here, so it's time to read the plot of Star Wars Episode 9, Twilight of the Force, my Episode 9, so here it is. So, after the devastating attack on the Jedi Temple, those who survive receive treatment and recover. Luke, with his wife Mara, reveals to everyone about Darth Plagueis having returned and that the Sith will most certainly be wanting revenge on the Jedi and to rise to power once again. Han, Leia and Lando also reveal that Cloud City was destroyed by a larger version of the Malevolence, and they fear that it may be used again with a bigger potential. So the heroes agree to find a way to discover what the Empire's next plan with Malevolence 2 is, and Luke also reveals that he wants to find Plagueis so he can stop the Sith one final time. With help from R2 and also the defected stormtrooper Kevan, the Republic learns that Grand Admiral Thrawn is heading to the planet Geonosis to recruit the Geonosians. They deduce that they can find out the plans by spying on Thrawn. So now, meanwhile, on Megiddo, Darth Caedus meets Plagueis, who reveals that now he has been revealed to Luke, he will move to another planet for his next move, which is to lure Luke to him to be destroyed. He also shows Caedus that he has a secret weapon in the making, which is a clone of Luke created from his severed hand. Now, on Geonosis, Han, Leia, Chewbacca and C-3PO find Thrawn is speaking to the Lesser, offering them recruitment in the Empire. Now, with C-3PO translating, they learn about the Empire wanting to use the Malevolence 2 to shut down the power in the galaxy. Now, the Geonosians do agree, despite, the Empire having wiped out most of their kind before to prevent knowledge of a Death Star being spread. Now, after escaping the Geonosians, who attack them, Leia announces to the Senate about the Empire's plan. Luke, meanwhile, attempts to find out where Plagueis is currently based so he can find him and end the Sith. Han and Leia are also hoping to find Caedus in an attempt to redeem him and bring him home. Later, the Republic receives a transmission from the planet Megiddo, the voice wanting to speak to Luke. The voice reveals that they saw Plagueis on the planet and that he has left, and they can provide Luke with a way to find Plagueis. Luke agrees to meet them on Megiddo. He then travels to Megiddo with R2 and he meets the contact, which is Tuano Mundi, the granddaughter of Ki-Adi-Mundi. She reveals that she has been sensing the same disturbance he has sensed all this time, and she sensed Plagueis' presence on the planet and found his palace. She gives Luke the coordinates to a wayfinder, which he can use to find Plagueis' new location. Luke heads to where the Wayfinder is located, Darth Vader's castle on Mustafar. After fighting his way through Imperials, Luke finds a Wayfinder and it reveals Plagueis' other base is Korriban. Luke deduces that he is based there and he travels there with R2. On Korriban, Plagueis senses that Luke is coming to him as he had planned. He orders Caedus to watch over Malevolence 2 and assist it against the Republic should they attack. Thrawn returns from Geonosis to inform Plagueis that the Geonosians will join forces. A pleased Plagueis then orders Thrawn to accompany Caedus and Grand Moff Pride to Malevolence 2 to position it ready to be activated, and as this happens, several Star Destroyers across the galaxy seize control of each planet, so you'll see lots of planets being taken over. The Republic and the Jedi learn that Malevolence 2 is moving and will soon reach Coruscant soon. They devise a plan to recruit forces from other systems to prepare for the final war against the Empire, with several heroes travelling to each planet. So, for example, Leia travels to Naboo, and while she's there, she also gets to pay respects to her mother Padme, and she even sees a vision of her as well, and also of Anakin, and she forgives him for him turning to the dark side. Han also goes to his home on Corellia, and also Kessel. Chewie goes to Kashyyyk. Lando and Ezra also recruit forces from Sokovia and Lothal. Ahsoka recruits forces from her homeworld Chile, and also Cal Kestis recruits forces from his homeworld Bracca, and Mara recruits forces from all over Coruscant. So we've got a whole lot of people joining them. Now on Korriban, Luke finally does confront Plagueis, and he attempts to fight him, but Plagueis is able to easily defeat him, and he tells him that he's going to travel to Luke's temple to finish off the Jedi, leaving Luke to fight his clone. Before this, you'll get treated to like a scenario where Plagueis shows Luke what happened if Luke turns to the dark side, where he does live in peace, but he had to kill all his friends for this peace. After a brutal duel with his clone, which does injure Luke, he's able to behead the clone, but he's very tired. However, he has a vision of his mother, Padme, who encourages him to get back up. He chases Plagueis' ship and he boards it, telling R2 to go and help the Republic stop Malevolence 2, which is flying in position ready to be activated. Back on Coruscant, with the forces recruited, the Republic prepares to find the Malevolence 2 to stop it. However, before they can make their plan, the Malevolence 2 comes out of hyperspace, forcing them to get ready. The fleet led by Han flies towards the Malevolence 2, but a large fleet of Star Destroyers, including Thrawn's Chimera, arrive to protect Malevolence 2, resulting in a huge space battle. Leia senses that Thrawn has the controls to Malevolence on the Chimera. Meanwhile, Luke confronts Plagueis on his ship and they have a duel, but Plagueis sabotages the controls to his ship so that it will crash into a Jedi temple. Luke attempts to stop it, but Plagueis incapacitates him and the ship crashes into a temple which completely destroys it. So the entire temple is completely in ruins. Meanwhile, the Republic tries to enter the Chimera to stop Thrawn, but it is protected by a very powerful shielding, and the only way to stop it is to destroy a powerful shield generator. Realising their weaponry won't destroy the shield, Kevan flies to a generator in hopes to destroy it, but he gets shot down and he crashes into it, which sacrifices himself, and this allows the Republic to enter the Chimera. Back on Coruscant, Luke escapes the wreckage of the ship and temple. He fears that Plagueis has killed everyone, but however, he senses all the Jedi Order alive and are hiding with the Republic remaining on Coruscant. He senses Plagueis is nearby and waiting for him and goes to find him in the ruins of Coruscant where the ship has crashed into. On the Chimera, Han and Leia attempt to find Thrawn while Lando and Boba take down the Imperials. R2 also arrives on the ship and reunites with C-3PO, who has been tasked with finding a way to rupture the fuel cells. Leia senses that Kaidos is also on the ship as well. Han and Leia and Chewie see Thrawn and attempt to run to him and shoot him, but Kaidos appears and he force pushes them away, which allows Thrawn to activate Malevolence. But just as the blast radius is about to hit the Republic fleet, it suddenly disappears. A furious Thrawn tries to activate it again, but realises the system has been hacked, and the entire Malevolence then self-destructs. It is revealed that it was R2 who hacked into the system via a control panel operating the Imperial fleet. Via a force bond, Mara tells Luke she has left him an artifact to use if he needs help. He searches the temple, but Plagueis attacks him using visions of the Emperor, Darth Vader and Kaidos, but he defeats the hallucinations and he collects the artifact. With Malevolence 2 now destroyed, the Imperial fleet is vulnerable to the Republic, but Plagueis weakens the Republic by using the Force to cause two Republic ships to collide together. Han, Leia and Chewie find Thrawn and attempt to subdue him, but he beats up Han, headbutts Leia unconscious and he injures Chewie by shooting his arm. Before he can finish off Han, however, Thrawn's bodyguard, Rook, stabs Thrawn with his dagger, saying that he has had enough of what Thrawn has done and deserves to die. Thrawn collapses to the ground mortally wounded. Han then thanks Rook and lets him escape. Before he and Chewie can wake Leia up, however, Kaidos enters the room. Meanwhile, Lando leads the Republic to the control room to take down the Imperials operating the Chimera, but encounters Pride, who cripples Lobot and grabs Lando with the intent to kill him, but Lando kicks him into the path of one of the Chimera's cannons before Lobot activates the cannon, completely obliterating Pride into atoms. On Coruscant, Luke finds Plagueis waiting for him. Luke prepares to fight him, but Plagueis unleashes his full power by creating visions of every Sith Lord who has ever lived. All of them. Luke tries to activate the artifact, but it appears to not work. He thinks he'll most likely die, but he prepares to make a last stand. But all of a sudden, one by one, all the ghosts of Jedi past, they all come to Luke. And Mara also arrives with the Jedi Order, leading to a large climatic battle between Jedi and Sith. Han attempts to convince Kaidos to abandon the dark side again, but Kaidos refuses and reveals that he is no longer Jacen, literally, because Plagueis removed the memories of Jacen and destroyed them. Realising Kaidos is no longer his son, Han and Chewie open fire on Kaidos, and despite at one point hitting his leg, this only angers Kaidos more, and he allows them to use up all their ammo before he subdues them using the Force, and attempts to slice through them with his lightsaber. But at the last moment, Leia wakes up and stops him before they then have a duel. After a prolonged fight, Kaidos manages to gain the upper hand and knocks Leia down before attempting to finish off Han. In this moment, Leia remembers Luke telling her in her training that if a Sith Lord has no memory of their past life at all, they cannot be redeemed and must be destroyed. Leia realises that the only way to stop Kaidos is to kill him and reluctantly stabs him, which kills him and ends his reign of terror once and for all. Han, Leia and Chewie then escape with his body alongside Lando, Boba and the rest of the Republic after C-3PO and R2 successfully set the Chimera to self-destruct. A defeated Thrawn watches as everyone escapes before the Chimera explodes and kills him. Now, back on Coruscant, the Jedi continue fighting the Sith, but every time a Sith vision is destroyed, Plagueis creates more of them. After Luke manages to destroy the Shadow Guards who are fighting with the Sith visions, Plagueis attempts to kill him using his lightning, and the other Sith Lord visions join in to strike their lightning. But all of the Jedi join Luke and help him deflect the lightning onto Plagueis, causing him to explode in a bright light and causing the Sith visions to vanish. So it was literally a twilight of the Force there. So after Jacen's funeral, with the Sith and Empire now wiped out, Leia gives a speech to the galaxy about the brave heroes, and they all give them medals before Leia declares that the galaxy is now in peace, and this leads to applause from the entire galaxy who are watching the broadcast of her speech. So it's a nice, lovely celebration scene, and in this scene as well, it's also revealed that Han is also retiring from being general to live a nice, peaceful life, and Boba Fett reunites with his wife. In addition, Anakin Solo, Jaina Solo, and Ben Skywalker are now granted the title of Jedi, and also Rey finally reveals to her boyfriend Anakin Solo that she is the great-granddaughter of Qui-Gon Jinn as well. Because there'll be lots of hints to her ancestry in the trilogy. Now, the final scene, this is the final scene. So on Tatooine, Luke, Mara, 3PO and R2 take Ben Skywalker to Luke's old moisture farm, which Luke has arranged to be cleaned and refurbished. Luke then reveals to Ben that he is giving him his farm as his new home now that he is a Jedi. Mara also gives him Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. And Luke says to Ben the final line of this saga, which is, "The Force will always be with you, Ben Skywalker." Ben then looks out to a binary sunset as the spirits of Anakin, Obi-Wan and Yoda watch proudly with Luke, Mara, C-3PO and R2. Anakin's spirit puts his hands on Luke's shoulders and they smile at each other. So, that is the final film of my trilogy, guys. So, I hope you enjoyed it. So, give this video a like. Also, be sure to let us know all in the comments what you thought of this podcast. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos coming in the future. And I will see you all later.